నుంచి హైదరాబాద్ అమ్మాయి స్మితా దాస్ టాప్ ర్యాంకర్గా నిలిచారు. బెంగాల్కు చెందిన స్మితా దాస్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ క్యాడర్ని ఎంచుకోవడం విశేషం. ఆ అమ్మాయే నేటి శుభోదయం అతిథి.
ఈ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ముగిసేసరికి సివిల్ సర్వీస్ కు ఎంపికయ్యేవారు చాలా తక్కువ మంది ఉంటారు. ఐఏఎస్ కు సెలెక్ట్ అయిన స్మితా దాస్ ప్రిలిమినరీ నుండి ఇంటర్వ్యూ దాకా ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యారో తెలుసుకుందాం. స్మిత గారు,
శుభోదయం.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
ఐఏఎస్ లో జాతీయ స్థాయిలో 4వ ర్యాంకు, రాష్ట్రంలో టాప్ ర్యాంక్ వచ్చినందుకు మీకు అభినందనలు. సివిల్ సర్వీస్ ను ఒక కెరీర్ గా మీరు ఎందుకు ఎంచుకున్నారు?
The fact that it offers the maximum services to the people, the wide-ranging assignments, and the dignity of service. I think that is the main reason as to why I opted for the civil services.
మీ బేసిక్ డిగ్రీ ఏం తీసుకున్నారండి మీరు? బేసిక్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్.
I'm a commerce graduate from St. Francis College, Begumpet.
What's your mains in
Optionals.
civil service?
My optionals were public administration and anthropology. It was public administration for the prelims also, and the mains I also had the second option of anthropology.
అంటే మీరు చదివింది కామర్స్ కదా, పబ్లిక్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ ఆంథ్రోపాలజీ ఎందుకు తీసుకున్నారు?
I went in for an orientation after my graduation, and I was advised that these optionals are scoring. Coming from a commerce background, I had also no idea regarding what the civil services is about. So public administration as a subject provides an insight into the actual administrative services. So that was another reason, and I also thought that I had an aptitude for the subjects.
ప్రిలిమ్స్ రాయాలంటే చాలా కష్టపడాల్సి ఉంటుంది కదా, దాని గురించి ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యారు? ఆ ఎగ్జామ్ గురించి.
I think it is a very wide and extensive preparation, because in the preliminaries the UPSC offers you a list of 23 optionals, and in my case I picked up public administration. Besides definitely preparing the optional, you have to be extremely thorough with the syllabus of your optional. And when it comes to general studies, that is the second paper which is required for the preliminaries, it has to be a very wide-ranging and extensive study. You have to have a basic understanding and knowledge of the subjects we have studied in our school. Like in the 9th and 10th standards, we have done history, geography, which most of us seem to lose touch with over the years. So we have to brush up that knowledge and also build on international affairs, current affairs, national issues, make a habit of reading newspapers. So it's a comprehensive preparation for the preliminaries.
ఇప్పటికీ సివిల్ సర్వీస్ కు ప్రిపేర్ కావాలంటే చాలా మంది చాలా పుస్తకాలు తెచ్చుకుని పేపర్లు, ఇటు టీవీ, రకరకాల బాధలు పడుతుంటారు. వీటిని ఎట్లా ఒక పద్ధతిలోకి తీసుకురాగలిగారు?
In my case, I went to a coaching institute, so I was guided as to which material should be studied and which should not be referred to. In any case, you have to follow a standard list of references. You can get it verified from your faculties or whoever is your guiding person, and try to avoid reading too much of material which is available in the market. It is better to follow a standard textbook, and the faculties are suggesting to you.
రోజుకి ఎన్ని గంటలు చదివేవాళ్ళు?
I think I put in at an average of 6 to 8 hours on a daily basis.
ఇప్పటికీ సివిల్ సర్వీస్ అంటే డిగ్రీ కాగానే చదవటం, లేకపోతే కొంత అంటే దానికంటూ ఒక టైం అంటూ స్పెండ్ చేయాలా?
It would be good if we orient ourselves from an earlier stage, but if you take the decision even consciously after your degree and put in 2 solid years or maybe at least 1.5 years of basic preparation, there's nothing to lose. In my case, I took the decision after my graduation, and after that I put it that was the only agenda on my table, so I did not do a post graduation. I just followed it from the very beginning, so I tried to make up for the time that I had lost during my graduation.
చాలా మంది ఎన్నో సార్లు పోటీలు పడి రాస్తుంటారు సివిల్ సర్వీస్. కొన్ని లక్షల మంది అసలు రాకుండానే వెళ్ళిపోతారు. మీరు ఎన్నిసార్లు రాశారు? ఎన్నో అటెంప్ట్ లో తెచ్చుకోగలిగారు?
This was my second attempt. I have made 2 attempts, yes.
What you learned from first attempt?
I think during my first attempt, besides the preparation not being totally up to my satisfaction, my time management was faulty in the general studies paper. So one has to move very fast because we have to answer 150 questions. It's an objective type paper, and it's a wide ranging paper, like it can have maths or anything from the social sciences. So maybe I could have managed my time better. I think that cost me a few marks in general studies.
మీ ఇంట్లో వాతావరణం ఎలా ఉంటుంది? మీ పేరెంట్స్, మీ తల్లిదండ్రులు మీకు ఎలాంటి ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ ఇచ్చారు?
My father had provided the basic motivation. He was very keen that I at least give it an attempt and see what it is about. And yes, my mother, my sister and my father, they provided the environment very importantly, and the motivation. Even when I did not clear in the first chance, they were very keen that I give a second chance and follow it up till I actually make it. So they have provided the motivation.
డిగ్రీ కాగానే సివిల్ సర్వీస్ పరీక్షకు తయారవుతూ పీజీ చేయడానికి అవకాశం ఉందా లేదా? మీరు రాశారు కాబట్టి మీరేమో ఒకేసారి 2వ అటెంప్ట్లో కూడా దీనికే పట్టుదలగా వచ్చారు. కానీ చాలా మంది ఆ అవకాశం ఉండకపోవచ్చు. రేపు పొద్దున పరీక్ష వస్తుందో రాదో ఎందుకైనా మంచిది పీజీ చేస్తామని అనుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. అట్లాంటి వాళ్ళకి మీరు ఇచ్చే సలహా ఏంటి?
I think personally from my experience I would say that preparing for the civil services is a full-time preparation. People who can manage to do a PG alongside, good for them, but I would personally say that it is very difficult to manage your time and distribute it between your post-graduation and your civils preparation, because as in my case I had taken admission during my second attempt in Central University, but I could not cope with both of them, so I discontinued the course. And like I said, it is a full-time preparation for the civil services, so it is better to just stick to one particular whatever you choose to do, whether it is PG or civil services. And in case you are very keen to do a post-graduation, then the civil services preparation can be done after you complete your PG.
హైదరాబాద్లో చాలా కోచింగ్ సెంటర్లు వస్తున్నాయి. కోచింగ్ సెంటర్కి వెళితేనే మనం సెలెక్ట్ కాగలుగుతామండి.
Yes, I do think it is necessary to go to a coaching center, because see, self-study is definitely the most important thing. Nobody can deny that. We are at an age when we can follow textbooks and prepare on our own, especially people with backing them with a PG degree. But going to a coaching center, they provide you the classroom atmosphere, and very importantly the professional guidance which is required. There's a lot of, like you yourself mentioned, there's a lot of material available, so they are able to advise you as to what should not be read, and that definitely helps, including maybe preparation for the interview and providing you the motivation, because it is difficult to study on your own and continuously self-motivate yourself. So a classroom atmosphere and being in contact with your teachers and faculties definitely helps.
మీరు ఏ కోచింగ్ సెంటర్కి వెళ్ళారు? అక్కడ ఎట్లా ఉండేదండి ప్రిపరేషన్?
I went in for Braintree, Himayatnagar. I was taught public administration by the director of Braintree, Mr. Gopal Krishna, and the coaching is such that we are taught both the preliminary syllabus and also followed by the main syllabus. So I would say that in my case, since I had no background in administration, we were taught from scratch. We were literally taught what is public and what is administration. So it was a very step-by-step, very concrete preparation. I felt very confident about taking the subject at the end of the study period. And as for anthropology, I was taught anthropology by Mr. Karthik Godavarti, and I would say the same about him. He's an excellent faculty. He actually clarifies your basics. Initially, anthropology is a tough subject to follow because we may not be used to the ideas, but it grows on you slowly and you have to study and appreciate it, and it is a very scoring subject.
హైదరాబాద్లో ఎన్ని కోచింగ్ సెంటర్లు ఉన్నాయి? ఈ ప్రిలిమినరీకి మెయిన్కు మధ్య ఎట్లా ప్రిపేర్ అవుతుంటారండి?
Preparation between the preliminaries and mains, yes. I think the immediate reaction after prelims is to take a break for some time, and which should be taken, because preliminaries itself is a great psychological tension. But you should not be wasting more than 1.5 weeks after the preliminaries. Whatever mains first of all, mains preparation cannot be started after the preliminaries. It has to be done well in advance. One optional at least has to be taken care of along with your preliminary preparations. So what you can do after the preliminaries is revise and be more focused as to which topic should be finally studied, because the gap between the preliminaries and mains is a period of 3 or 4 months, and it is very less a time to actually study the subject and then revise and then go for the exam. You probably will not be so satisfied with your preparation in that case. So it is better to just revise after the preliminaries. Like I said earlier, it has to be more extensive, but after the preliminaries it should be more focused. You should make a list of topics expected and concentrate on those.
ఆప్షనల్ సివిల్ జనరల్ నాలెడ్జ్ కి సంబంధించి మీరు ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యారు?
General knowledge preparation has to be done. It's a long-term preparation. You have to follow the newspapers, the standard newspaper, maybe like the Hindu or Times of India, and reading magazines also helps. Magazines like India Today or Frontline, even The Week. So general knowledge preparation has to be done by basically following the print media, whatever is available in the form of newspaper information. As far as the internet is concerned, I think most of the information available on the net is in any case available in newspapers. So for the civil services, it is not that much of a necessity, the internet.
ఐఏఎస్ ఫలితాలు చూసుకున్న తర్వాత మీకు కలిగిన అనుభూతి ఎలాంటిదండి?
Well, I was very relieved because it comes as a pleasant surprise, and of course it's a fulfillment of a 2-year struggle. It's a dream come true.
మీ పేరెంట్స్ ఎలా ఆ క్షణంలో ఎలా ఫీల్ అయ్యారు?
My mother was extremely happy, and my father's always been very balanced, so he never gets too excited or too disappointed. But yes, they are thrilled beyond words. That was their dream, and finally I have been able to fulfill their dream.
మీ కుటుంబ వివరాలు చెప్పండి. ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు? ఏంటి మీ బ్రదర్స్ అండ్ సిస్టర్స్?
Okay, my mother, she is a teacher in Army School, Ramkrishnapuram. She is a teacher of Sanskrit and Hindi. And she's always followed her profession wherever my father has been posted. And I have forgot to mention, my father's in the defense. He's an army officer, now retired. So wherever we have, in whichever cities we have resided, mummy has always followed her profession. And as for my sister, she's waiting for her 12th standard results. And she plans to take up commerce in graduation.
ఇన్నేళ్లుగా మీరు హైదరాబాద్లో ఉన్నారు కదండి, తెలుగు ఎందుకు రాలేదు మీరు?
Yes, that has been a failure on my part, I admit. But I'm going to make an effort in the next 2-3 months to learn.
సివిల్ సర్వీస్ అయిన తర్వాత కేడర్ ఎంచుకుంటారు కదండి, ఏపీ కేడర్ ప్రత్యేకించి ఎందుకు ఎంచుకున్నారు?
Firstly, because we are domiciled here, and I very much like the environment. Along with my parents, we find that the city suits us in every way. We have lived in many cities, and after quite a difficult choice, my father finally decided that we have to settle down in Hyderabad. In fact, we made our own house over here when I was in my 11th standard. So we've been domiciled here for quite some time now. And aspect, whether it is education or sports or entertainment, the city provides the atmosphere.
ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఎలా జరిగిందండి మీది?
My interview was a very tough and cordial interview. The board members were very supportive, and I was asked a lot of wide-ranging topics. Certain issues on foreign policy, then questions on policing in our country, the state of affairs, things on economics and banking because that is my basic educational background, things about judicial activism. It was a tough and cordial interview. Yeah.
చదువు కాకుండా మిగతా ఫీల్డ్స్ లో ఉన్న అభిరుచి ఉందా? ఏమైనా తెలుసా?
Yeah, I have trained in Hindustani classical music, and I have trained for almost 6 or 7 years. So that's why I have not been doing riyaz for a long time now because I haven't found the time, but music is one of my biggest passions. And also in sports, I have been an athlete all my life, and I have also played badminton at Karnataka state levels when I was younger.
మా ప్రేక్షకుల కోసం మీరు ఏమైనా పాడి వినిపించగలరండి?
No, I don't think, I'm not going to sing right now.
సివిల్ సర్వీస్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ కి కమ్యూనికేషన్ స్కిల్స్ డెవలప్ చేసుకోవడం అవసరం కదా, మీరు ఎలా డెవలప్ చేసుకున్నారు?
Communication skills, yes, it plays a very important role in the civil services, and in my case, right from the childhood, I have made an effort. My parents made sure that I was sent to a school, an English-speaking school or a convent school where they do pay attention to your language. And actually, what is important is whichever language you speak, you should speak it well. It's not just English. You're offered your choice of medium in this particular exam. And communication skills helps in the mains because you're able to write more focused answers. The fluency of the language matters. And of course in the interview because your expression is very important. And the board is impressed with your communication skills because you're able to articulate much better on various issues.
మొన్నటి వరకు మీ దినచర్య ఎలా ఉండేది? ఎన్ని గంటల పాటు చదువు కోసం కేటాయించేవాళ్ళు?
Well, in the first year of my preparation, I used to attend the coaching classes. So a lot of time was spent in the coaching classes itself. And at home I would spend about 3-4 hours additionally because again a lot of time was spent in commuting. But I would say that you should put in 6 to 8 hours. Whatever your daily schedule be, you can take out time to go outside, meet your friends or be whatever your entertainment be. It's not that you have to study the whole day long to be successful. Whatever hours you put in, that should be focused and that should be sincere. And time management is very essential.
రాష్ట్రంలో సివిల్ సర్వీస్ పరీక్షలకు వెళ్లే వాళ్ళకి తగిన వాతావరణం ఉందండి?
I think it is relatively less as compared to the north of India. Maybe the schools and colleges can do something in this regard because it is basically the teachers who influence the career choices of students. So besides going in for engineering or for MBA, they can make the students aware that there are other career options like the civil services, and orient them, tell them what is required. At least from that stage they can start being more interested in current affairs. So that would help them. And the teachers must impress upon them the need for them to go into the civil services, because that is one career which helps you in the actual process of nation building. So students have to be made aware of this particular option.
చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి మీరు ఒక ఎయిమ్ పెట్టుకుని వెళ్ళారా, లేకపోతే డిగ్రీ దగ్గర నుంచి డిసైడ్ చేసుకున్నారా IAS కి వెళ్ళాలి అని?
No, it was a conscious decision taken only after my graduation. Yeah, I never planned on this particular career option. It was after my MBA or something else, and that something else my dad suggested, why don't you try for the civil services. So at that point of time, in fact, I had a job from Standard Chartered. I was offered a job that was due to campus placements from St. Francis College. But I decided that I'll give myself 2 years to try for this particular option.
చిన్నప్పుడు స్కూల్లో మీ చదువు ఏ స్థాయిలో ఉండేదండి?
Academically, I have always been quite satisfactory. In my 12th standard, I had got the first rank in the country. I had given my ISC board, so I had scored 93%. And in my graduation, I have had 2 gold medals from St. Francis from BCom Marketing. So I have studied sincerely whenever I have studied. I don't think I'm a very studious person, but I do put in my sincere effort because I do enjoy studying.
స్కూల్లో చదివే రోజుల్లో బాగా అల్లరి చేసేవాళ్ళ, లేకపోతే బుద్ధిమంతనంగా బాగా చదువుకునే వాళ్ళ?
Yeah, I was like any other normal person. I had my share of fun and sports activities and co-curriculars. Like I said, I've never been totally studious or just for the sake of studying. I've had a very, very good childhood and a very good school life. Not missed out on anything. Even playing pranks on teachers.
మీ కాలేజ్ డేస్ ఎట్లా జరిగాయి? About your college days?
I studied from St. Francis College, Begumpet. And about the college, I think it provides a very good atmosphere because it's a convent basically. So the discipline in terms of the attendance which is required, we have to put in 10% attendance. And also they provide the atmosphere for co-curricular activities, a lot of music and dance and sports. So it's up to you to be able to take advantage of the environment that they provide.
అకాడమిక్ గా మీ ఇంట్లో ఎవరైనా, మీ ఫ్యామిలీలో ఎవరైనా సివిల్ సర్వీస్ సెలెక్ట్ అయిన వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారా?
No, nobody in my family has ever been in the civil services. Basically, I come from a defense background, so my father, in fact even my chacha is also from the defense background.